I'm like one of those annoying people that's like, mistakes made in films. Like
A blunder. Is that a Natsuki blunder?
Don't ever.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to the Abroad Japan podcast. Probably the best way of learning about life in Japan without actually being in Japan. I'm your host, Chris Broad. We're joined as always by England's top Japan enthusiast, Mr. Pete Dawson. Pete, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
What am I doing? That was very. To be honest, I was selecting fire hydrants and bridges and some stairwells to log into an upload system for how we get this show out. So I thought, okay, get a head start while you were doing the intro. But,
what you just said confused me immensely.
Well, you know, like those CAPTCHA things where they go, oh, you have not logged in from here before.
Oh, right.
So can you click on a fire hydrant? Can you click on a what's?
I hate that. Yeah, I was doing something. I had to do something in a hurry, like a government document the other day, and it was like, pick the strawberries and the bananas. I'm like, if I don't fill this out, people die.
Move this bit of the jigsaw into
Can you
the
imagine
middle.
that? Like James Bond trying to disarm like a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have 20 seconds, Bond. And it's like, pick the bananas and
Especially
the
because
sausages.
sometimes there's a picture that says select all the pictures that have bicycles. Some of them have bicycles in, but they don't want you to click on those ones. There's not enough bicycles in. I don't know.
Match the bicycle to the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I've got to disarm the bomb.
Kind of reminds me of that. It was a GeoGuessr where you were
Yes.
kind of it reminds me a little bit of that, really. Sort of clicking around, just sort of going, I don't know what this is.
Talking to the GeoGuessr master.
GeoGuessr master.
Thanks to that one video I did with Connor on his stream. Where I
One cut
did
down
really well.
one because the full one wasn't as good.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm the GeoGuessr master. I do like GeoGuessr. The Slumdog Millionaire routine, as Connor referred to it. It was a bit like that. There was like a field of like tea in a very obscure place.
Yeah.
In like near Wajima, the town that got hit by an earthquake, and by fate I'd gone there 2 weeks earlier to do a documentary.
Right.
In
And
like
you
this tea, it's like a leaf came up on screen. I was like, I know that leaf. I know what that is. I was there 2 weeks ago. It was just like
chilling, absolutely chilling.
when
stuff.
you travel around, you find these places. But
Have you completed Japan? Sounds like you've gone to every bit.
I haven't done the Kumino Kodo yet, have I?
No, it's a good point, actually. That's
Which,
the next one. That should be
we
next
talked
one.
about the last episode.
Well,
yeah, there's still
you'll
things
probably
to do.
invite me to it. I will do it, and it'll go on the cutting room floor. It'll probably go on the cutting room floor.
It's true.
It's true.
Pete, the Adventures of Pete, but you don't
It's
get to see them
true.
because we don't put them in the edit.
So look, I wouldn't. I've got nothing to say.
Poor old Pete.
So a performance I kick out on this podcast every bloody week, for crying out loud. But yes, how is everybody?
I'm good.
All good. How's your GeoGuessr friend, Connor? How's Natsuki? Because like Natsuki recently, before Christmas, he obviously released his Christmas song.
It's Chickmas.
It's Chickmas.
Yeah, who could forget?
And we would sort of texting back and forth a couple of times across Christmas and New Year and stuff.
You're
And,
in the song, aren't you?
I'm in the song at the start, yes.
Because there's a scene of
Kick the whole thing
Natsuki
off.
at a bar and he gets a phone call
Mm.
and rather awkwardly he's like talking on the phone and you
Yeah.
can't hear what he's saying and then you just hear your voice go, Happy Christmas,
Happy
Natsuki."
Christmas, Natsuki.
And it's like, why can you suddenly
Why-
hear Pete now but he wasn't on the phone? I'm like one of those annoying people that's like, mistakes made in films. Like,
A blunder. Is that a Natsuki blunder?
don't overthink it.
Yeah.
It's just a Natsuki production.
Yeah.
Where
What's going to be your musical kind of output for this year? Because like a couple of years ago we had Too Much Volcano.
last year we had Shake Your Jelly.
Shake Your Jelly, yeah.
Shake Your
I forgot
Jelly
about
all
that.
over
yes,
the place.
I forgot about
Was
that.
it Shake Your
yes.
Jelly all over the place. I'm going to bust a load of jelly all over your face.
Oh dear.
It did. I think that sunk
golly.
that tanked the song very quickly.
That's what you
with an opening
chose to
line,
believe.
you
Yeah.
know.
You just believed that it was too rude for telly.
We can criticise Chickmas all you like, but at least Chickmas is a family-friendly endeavour.
It's a good point, actually. I mean, it is, but Natsuki does say the F word about 5 times in it.
On the explicit version. I love that they uploaded 2 versions as well.
Yeah.
One's like, explicit cut, which is just him going, no, the fucking Chickmas. And the other one's just him going, it's Chickmas.
Chickmas.
Anyway,
It's Chickmas.
Enough of Chickmas.
Holy shit, it's
I
Chickmas.
don't want to hear that fucking song again. We got a story this week from Benjas.
Ooh.
Benyas.
And yes.
Benyas. It begins. Greetings, Chris and Pete. Last October, I was able to finally live my dream and travelled to Japan for the first time ever. And while the entire trip was memorable and amazing, my very first day was quite the adventure. Can't be as adventurous as the last story, last
Good point,
episode,
actually, yeah.
in which a capybara burnt down half of Tokyo.
Very unfortunate set of events, that.
It's quite a story. I had time to kill, though. Before checking in at my hotel, when I started to explore Kabukicho in Shinjuku, there a Japanese man approached me, excitedly greeting me with an enthusiastic, "Hello, friend." That's never good. I answered back with a hello, to which he replied,
Oh.
"Nice to meet you." Nice to meet you too, I responded, expecting that to conclude the exchange. To my surprise, though, he followed up with a confident and very succinct question. Sexy shop.
Oh,
Sexy shop.
Wow.
The best kind of shop. I used every fibre of strength not to laugh in his face and simply replied,
Sexy shop.
"No, thank you," and walked away. After exploring a bit more and checking in at my hotel, the final memorable event that, that evening happened. As I went looking for a place to have dinner, I found a quaint little place and gathered my courage to try and make conversation. I ordered some lemon sours and takoyaki. What a fine diet, lemon sour and takoyaki. And I waited for more customers to fill the venue. Shortly, a man and a woman had entered, and the woman immediately pointed out something quite peculiar. All the men in the room had the same hairstyle.
Oh.
This caught us by surprise and was a great icebreaker. Before I left, we took a picture to capture the rare event, and it was a truly unique and memorable first day in Japan. All the best to you, Benyas.
Wow. I mean,
What do you mean, their same hairstyle?
I
Like,
thought this was
shave
going
their
to end.
hair?
I thought it was going to end up to sort of like some kind of sexy club where everyone's into the same.
Yeah, it wasn't quite
But
the
it-
exciting
yeah,
ending
But
to
it
the
just
story.
sounds like somebody's just had the same hairdresser in the area.
But he had sent a photo through, and it's true. People do have the same hairstyle. That is quite odd. There's 4 guys, and they've all got
Sort of top knots,
a
haven't they?
short
Yeah,
haircut,
yeah.
sort of bowl haircut, with a little ponytail at the back,
Yeah.
extruding. And it is quite. There's 4 of them, so it is quite odd. They do like a band,
Yeah, they do look like the
Ponytail.
samurai band. Yeah.
samurai, the Ponytail men.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I sometimes go for the old samurai sort of top knot sort of thing, and certainly when I play football and when I'm doing any sort of DIY, I just don't need the hair on my face.
Hello, friend.
And there is a little,
Sexy shop. Sexy shop.
sexy shop, and there's a little bit of me that goes, "Yeah, you look cool, Pete, you look cool, but I don't look cool."
You had a ponytail once.
I did. I've had it. I've had loads
Bring it
of-
back.
Well, yeah, bring it back. Awful.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring back the ponytail and go to the
Have
sexy
you ever
shop.
have you ever had like really long hair enough to sort of ponytail up?
No, it doesn't
Come
really do it for me.
What do you mean?
I'm not cool like you.
Let's get you. You've got really good, strong follicles. Let them stretch their legs for crying out loud. Let's have a ponytail.
I'm good.
On Chris, go on.
Oh, it just doesn't suit me. It wouldn't suit
It
me.
doesn't suit anyone. It's a ponytail for crying out loud.
Well, what is going on this week in Japan, Mr. Dawson? Fill us in.
Oh, well, the problem is I've zoomed in on the ponytail men, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to zoom back round there. Yes, the birth rate in Japan, we're in big trouble. Or
I've never
they're
heard
in
of
big
this.
trouble, rather.
I wouldn't know.
No, I know. We just don't talk about every single bloody week. In 695 years, Japan will be left with only one child.
Jesus.
In 695 years, Japan will be left with only one child. And this very much sounds like some kind of manga or something, doesn't it? If the birth rate continues on its current trajectory, according to a professor at Tohoku University's Research Center for Aged Economy and Society, he's maintaining a counter that provides a date from which we're already going to
That's
have one
cool.
baby in Japan, which is pretty cool and scary. But yeah. It's going to be the annual rate of decline has sped up the clock by over 100 years compared with the prediction back last year. So it may even be sooner than that. It may even be quicker than 695 years. The birth rate continues to decrease. The most recent data held by the Health Ministry showed the rate falling to 1.20 in 2023, the lowest ever. And in Tokyo, 0.99, the first city in the nation to have a rating below 1. And of course, Japan's waning birth rate. Policymakers are obviously looking to do some of the most unsexy bits of sort of corporate and governmental changes that is not going to get anybody having sex. They're dating apps. They're messing around with dating apps. They're obviously the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, as we spoke about before. They started their own dating app, which nobody wanted and nobody would want. Why would they?
Feels a bit clinical, doesn't
Does.
it? Need more sexy shops.
More sexy shops. There's
And more ponytails.
more sexy shops, fewer tenga.
Yes.
Let's get
That's a good point. They should
ban tenga.
They should literally just
Yeah.
ban Tenga.
Ban
And then they'll
Tenga.
be like, oh man. I've been
Those
actually...
unpopular men from the previous show who were trying to ban Christmas. Get rid of them. Get rid of tenga. Let's just make some babies, shall we?
I mean, 700 years is a long time. I think there'll be other issues in play
Yeah.
by the point that
Heat
comes
death,
around.
heat death of the world.
One of those. It'd be interesting in 50 years to see what the situation looks like. I mean, will robots be because they always used to parrot robots will solve this issue.
Yeah.
We don't need more people, just have robots. And then nobody built a robot.
The
and
robots are
rubbish.
never as good as you think. Wasn't there a big thing, January the 1st, 2025?
Mm.
We were all going to have sexy sex bots as companions. And that was like that was like a news story from like 5 years ago. And so people were sort of tweeting and Instagram going, we've got one day, one more sleep until sex robots.
It's just Tengu with ChatGPT, isn't
Exactly, yeah.
it? Oh,
ChatGPT.
Jesus Christ.
Don't need another one reviewing my performance, thank you.
Yeah.
Please don't speak.
That's crazy. That does put it in perspective at the speed at which it's happening, right? And the 125 million people to just go to like zero.
What we
Only one
need is just people being sexier.
Or,
We need a way of getting people sexier.
or an economy that makes people want kids.
All right,
But it's
fine.
again, like Japan is not unique to the situation. It was just first to the party, so to speak, on this, right?
Yes.
Most,
Everyone
every country has
People
this.
say that the reason why Putin's doing what he's doing is because of the horrifically declining birth rate in Russia, and that's kind of
But how would the war be good for that?
because you can have some more people
How
and
co-
some more
right,
space,
like
some more
Ukraine. You mean
resources.
take
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, I don't
And
think it's the
Georgia
case.
and wherever the hell else he's going to.
What better way to increase your
Suck up.
population than by killing millions of your own people in a war?
Yep.
I don't. Yeah, it's a thing,
It's a thing.
but I don't know. There's no solution.
We're not going to solve it here. We're not going to solve it here,
I think
Chris.
we could
Yeah.
before lunchtime. No,
Yeah,
we're not going
okay,
to solve
right.
it, but that really puts in perspective how bad it is.
Mm.
So it's pretty bad, but not as bad as what's coming up next to the fax machine. And the stories, comments, and questions.
Don't put your penis in the fax machine.
Wow.
Now we're back with the fax machine. What do we got this week for our listeners, Mr. Dawson? Fill us in.
Greg from San Diego. Now I know two things about San Diego. TwitchCon happens there.
It does, yeah.
Second thing, I've forgotten. Greetings, Sunday Times #1 bestseller Chris and fantastically peculiar Pete.
It's quite
I
peculiar.
wrote a book once. I helped write a book.
Was it Sunday Times #1 bestseller?
It was reviewed in the Sunday Times.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It wasn't particularly well reviewed.
Oh,
in the Sunday-
no.
No. I recently went on a trip to China with my family where I noticed a smoking culture where smokers, especially the older generation, would light up despite no smoking signs on display and even standing next to my toddler. What is the smoking etiquette like in Japan? God forbid I ever meet my hero Natsuki and he lights up in front of my little ones. Your ever faithful listener, Greg from San Diego. Yes, shield your children from Natsuki. Shield
I
them.
think Natsuki's pretty good though. Well, like
Yeah, I think it's pretty.
when he lights up a
conscientious.
cigarette,
Yeah.
which isn't nice because he smokes the really hardcore Marlboro Red cigarettes.
Right.
He does go outside or far away.
Yes,
Not
he
too
does.
much of an
Yeah,
issue.
and he looks sort of thoughtfully into the middle distance. It's quite a romantic
And
image.
dreams
Natsuki
and dreams of a brighter future for
hoovering
Japan.
up, hoovering up a
Yeah. So no, you don't have to worry about that. I do remember when I was in China, there was a lot of smoking.
Yeah,
A lot of smoking.
yeah.
I don't know if it's more than Japan. It probably is a little bit higher. In terms of population percentage that smoke. But
you do get the spitting as well. To be fair, right after a cigarette, everyone just has a little spit.
yeah.
Delicious.
But yeah, smoking in Japan, it's
Mm.
the culture's changed dramatically. Even in the time I've been there, you used to be able to smoke indoors just about every bar or restaurant. Now
It has gotten better, even though it
it's
does.
few and far
yeah.
between.
But most bars you will go in and go, "Oof,
Yeah,
that's a bit much.
it is a bit
Yeah.
much. It is a bit much, and I'm glad that is the case. That it's harder to smoke indoors. 'Cause it's not nice when you're trying to eat some food and it starts tasting like tobacco and regret.
I don't know. I think there's something. I think we are so obsessed by nostalgia. I think the smell of cigarettes is there's something very 1980s.
You're
about
just
it.
saying that because your Toyota Crown
Stinks
Century,
of,
sorry,
stinks of,
Toyota
stinks of
yeah,
cigarettes.
it smells
yeah.
like
stinks
a
of
fucking
Japanese cigarette. Yeah,
bonfire.
I dare say the cigarette sort of ashtrays have been abused and used.
It's
lot.
not nice.
Yeah,
It's not nice.
not nice.
Ben from Birmingham says, "Hello, crispy Chris and porous Pete."
Ooh.
He's quite porous this week. He's
Yeah.
quite ill. I'm coming over to Japan. Sorry, in about a month's time for my first trip as a solo traveller.
Ooh.
Coincidentally, I'll be there just in time for the Sapporo Snow Festival. Ooh. Though I'll be staying in Tokyo, and so Sapporo is a bit out of my way. Is it worth going up to Sapporo by bullet train to see the Snow Festival, or is it not really worth the long bullet train ride? Many thanks, Ben from Birmingham. I mean, if you're going to go there, you don't go by bullet train.
Right.
Because the bullet train only goes 2/3 of the way to Hakodate,
Okay.
and then you'd have to ride a local train and all sorts. You would just fly is the easiest way. I mean, I really enjoyed the Sapporo Snow Festival when I went with Mr. Pete Dawson.
I don't remember flying. Isn't that weird?
You went by submarine.
Yeah, I must have flown. That's mad, that, isn't it? I do not remember getting to Sapporo.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just sort of
just
fucking
appeared.
out of an
Yeah.
alleyway. He's got technology that doesn't currently exist in normal human hands.
Alternate existence.
But I really enjoyed our trip there and the atmosphere. However, I do know during COVID and after COVID, the festival got a lot less good.
Right, okay.
They sort of spun down, like the food stalls, sorry, sort of weren't really there as much last year, I heard. So I don't know. I don't know if I would go again. I mean, I wouldn't go again because I've already experienced it. And it was peak Sapporo experience, and we got a great video of Natsuki and my friend Chiaki trying hot sauce, and you weren't there for that, and incinerating their mouths. It was very entertaining.
Yeah. It's good though. It was
Well, yeah, if you've
worth
got nothing to
visiting.
do.
But yeah, I don't know what it's like now.
It depends what you do though, Ben. If you're a photographer, go because it is an amazing atmosphere. It's great to take pictures, and Sapporo at night in the snow with the neon glow, fucking so cool.
There's a level on Yakuza 0 that I think is set in
Susukino.
Snow Festival.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And going to the Snow Festival after I played that, it was like, oh wow, this is what a snow festival.
Is that why you
like.
started smashing up stalls and extorting people?
Yeah, just threw people into a 7-Eleven, smashed it up. Yeah.
Oh man, but I love Sapporo, and yeah, go for the food, go for the festival.
Well worth it.
Give it some thought, do.
Yeah.
But if you do go, definitely recommend flying. It's only like an hour and a half from Tokyo.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have a question from Candy from Nottingham. He says, "Hello, Chris and Pete. My husband and I are heading to Japan for the first time this May or June, and I would love your take on something. My husband can draw a lot of attention as he rocks a rainbow-coloured mohawk, a beast of a beard, and has quite a few tattoos. While I figure Tokyo won't be too much of an issue, do you have an insight into how folks might react in more rural areas?" Candy from Nottingham.
The ball.
That's quite interesting. What do you think would happen?
I don't know. Like you see, like punk bands with mohawk. That's kind of like the de rigueur, isn't it? Like every old school Japanese punk band has to have one member with an extreme sort of Camden mohawk.
I think people would actually be inclined to be like Sugoi hairstyle.
Yeah.
In a way that you don't normally get people comment in Japan on tattoos. I think people don't go, "Oh,
no,
Monkey Island, Sugoi," at your tattoo.
Newcastle United.
Sugoi Newcastle
Cool.
United. Nobody says that out loud.
No.
But a mohawk, because it's so like in your face
Out
and
there,
rare in
yeah,
Japan.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
I've ever seen a mohawk in Japan. I think people would be like, "Wow, amazing hair."
Yeah,
Or
good
Sugoi
luck.
hair,
Good luck maintaining a spiky mohawk in that humidity. Come on.
Yeah. So don't worry.
That's gonna be flapping about.
You won't be frowned upon, but I think you will have some interesting comments from people who'll be like impressed and in awe of your hair.
Little blackbird might sit in between it.
And that might happen as
Yeah.
well. You never know your luck. You will find out. But let us know how you get on, Ken. If something doesn't happen that's interesting, something intriguing,
Let us know.
let us know. And I'd love to hear.
BroadJapanPodcast@gmail.com.
Let us know. Keep the stories, questions, comments coming over to the aforementioned email address, and we'll be back later in the week, guys, to do it all over again. But for now, have yourself a great few days, and we'll see you right back here on the Abroad Japan podcast as I finish my Pocari sweat.
Oh,
Goodbye.
goodbye.